for the beginners, the syllabus that has been given. You all know that we have a preparatory course of asanas and pranayama, which is designed for the neophytes, the beginners, the newcomers, who would like to be initiated in the path of yoga. And those classes you see going upstairs most of the time in the mornings and evenings. And this program of preparatory course is made for 8 months. However, since the teacher cannot proceed until the pupil shows any marked improvement, the course takes about 11 months. That is almost 1 year. The syllabus consists of 48 basic asanas and 1 basic pranayama. But the pupils cannot get into the final asana directly. Hence, in this program, the stress is laid upon the intermediate stages of the some of the asanas. So if the intermediate stages also of those asanas, they are being important, if we include them, the list along with these final asanas will come up to 16 number. So you will be seeing all those intermediate stages, the final asanas, etc. A variety of asanas are included in the syllabus to achieve the goal of improving the body structure, lubricating the joints, and thereby creating freedom of movement in them, and also strengthening the ligaments while extending the cartilage and the muscles. The selection of asanas is done in such a manner that they tone the internal organs so that the functional performance of the organic body is improved. We have several systems in the body in order to keep the body machine working in a proper way. While charting out the program, Guruji has taken into consideration all these systems of the body, such as digestive, respiratory, circulatory, glandular, muscular, skeletal, excretory, reproductory, lymphatic, and nervous systems. You may be puzzled that why so many asanas are introduced for a beginner, since your lazy mind with a fixed notion cannot accept very idea of doing so many asanas. And that is how the psychology of people is, that they ask us how minimum they can do. And at the same time, their psychology is to do less and expect more. Remember that the less the effort, then less is the effect. If the efforts are right, then the effects are also correct. A minimum expectation of a practitioner is to derive physical and mental health, as well as the poise of the body and a peace of mind. That's what all of you expect. And the asanas those are chosen here are on this basis of minimum expectation. Guruji at the same time has planned the program in such a manner that whole 8 months program, and up to 11 months when he has given the whole program to the teachers. The program is planned in such a manner that one develops the interest in yoga to enrich the knowledge in this path, and in case it's for the beginners especially, because most of the time we see that they come to take the admission in the beginning with a goal of enthusiasm, and after 2-3 months they just drop. So even if they drop, I don't mind. But what I want to point out is that in case that one wishes to discontinue, then the knowledge that is gathered, the experience that is gained, and the practice that is done in that 1 month, 1 year, is enough to continue with yogic practice in order to maintain the health. That means even if you just decide to keep yourself free for that 1 year, and treating it as one academic year, And if you give your attention to that, whatever has been taught, that is quite sufficient for you to continue with yogic practice. The ancient culture, which is presented to us by our sages, is based on the human requirements which are essential for a man, not only to gain physical health, but also to achieve the higher aims of life, for which he requires moral strength, constructive faith, and the development of consciousness. The asanas are not created out of blue. They have come into the existence for the methodical approach to the life, and therefore they are classified also systematically. Because often while practicing we see people, they just pick up some asana and they want to do, or they come demanding, asking that they want to learn such and such pose which they have seen somewhere on TV or somewhere in the book, but that is not possible. There is a methodical approach in learning. The classification is for beginners, which they have to always remember. As you begin the classes with certain pose postures, this classification is based on the anatomical structure of the body, the range of the movement of the body, and also a progressive activation of the internal body, so that one penetrates through the outer body to the inner one, and again through the body, the very mind, and excavates the inner hidden energy of his very existence to reach the very source of the being, that is the soul. The asanas are divided for the sake of our own convenience, to enable us to analyze our own body movements, measure the willpower, because as the poses, you see the advanced poses, you need strong willpower to do. So one has to learn how to measure one's own willpower while proceeding and penetrate into the consciousness, because the mind, your consciousness has to get involved into that poses as the poses get advanced. And in that manner, the consciousness goes back within and finally enlightens us and makes our life positive and meaningful. We have in our syllabus the standing postures, sitting, resting poses, along with forward extension, backward extension, supine extensions, as well as abdominal contraction and inversions. That is, even the syllabus has given a total attention to the human requirements in order to maintain the health. And today, we are going to see these asanas. So those who have joined the classes recently will be able to know the portion that will be covered in the coming academic year, that is from June to April. The senior and advanced students, because some of them are present, will be able to refresh their memory and check whether they are missing something in their practice. And those who are in the patient's class, they are medical class, they will be able to know that the same asanas, how they are converted or taken in a different manner in order to do their decision. Because when I will be mentioning the effects of the asanas, you will know, those who are patients will be able to connect that why they have been introduced to certain postures, though we make little bit change in the technical side. So here we begin the standing poses, and here are students, pupils of the institute. They will be coming on the platform. As you know that we always begin with the standing asanas. You see them standing in samasthiti. That's the first position which you learn. How to stand on the legs, where you find their feet are joined, their shoulders are rolled back, chest is open, the arms are extended, the back is erect, the kneecaps, they have to tighten inside, they have to extend their calves, they have to move the frontal thighs to the back of the thighs, they have to suck in the frontal thigh to the back thigh, they have to extend the spine, the throat relax, the tongue relax, and that's how they stand straight in samasthiti. You know that we stand on our legs throughout our waking hours. All of you stand, always you stand. But we do not And these asanas, the standing asanas which we call, are the one to correct the very posture of the body. That means in standing position, first you learn to position your body to put the weight in the right manner on your legs, to extend your spine so the spine supports the whole body, and that manner one learns to stand. Now in Samasthiti, you see there are different variations where you first learn to stretch your arms, the movement of the arm, when you just extend your arms upward. That's called Urdhva Hastasana. In same Urdhva Hastasana, when you extend the arm further upward, in order to bring the further elongation, you join the palms and do Namaskar at the top, like Vrikshasana, where by joining the arms, you intensify your action at the shoulder blade to move inward. Then you interlock your fingers, you turn the arms so the wrist works, the knuckles work, the armpit works, so you find the extension occurring. So those who suffer with the cold shoulder or the arthritis, etc., you know that why this action is taken by the elbow, the knuckles, the wrist, etc. In the same standing, you find then Vrikshasana and Utkatasana. You find the right leg getting fixed there on the foot of the thigh. The balance is taken and then Utkatasana pose. So in Samasthiti, one learns how to distribute the weight evenly on the feet as Abhay is doing, the soles and the heels. The hamstrings are aligned there, the arches are created in the feet, the chest and the head are properly positioned. The movement of the arm which you saw in Abhay, once again, changing the arm position, the movement of the arm extends, the side walls of the chest, the bent are protruding knees are corrected there. Take for example Vrikshasana, Devaki is doing, which comes easier on the leg. Often it comes easier on the leg on which you put the weight normally while standing, and becomes difficult on the side that you put less weight. So that means Tadasana corrects that Vrikshasana pose. If she is strong on the right leg, when she stands on the right, it comes better. If she is strong on the left leg, when she stands on the left leg to do Vrikshasana, it comes better. That means you are able to know on which leg you put the weight. The stretching of the knees makes one taller. Again, the interlocking of the fingers in Tadasana exercises your knuckles and both as head. Take for example this Utkatasana, what Rajlakshmi is doing. Utkatasana tones the abdominal organs in their bending position, the back muscles, and develops the chest muscles and extend the gluteal muscles. Often people cannot sit on the chair with bent leg, that's why they need high chair. So these gluteal muscles are made to work there. The shin bone, that is lower shin bone, Abhay show that below the kneecap, the shin bone is the weight bearing bone, and that is strengthened, and one learns to flex the thigh joint, ankle joint here in Utkatasana. That means that shin bone, what you saw in Abhay, when you bend like this, the weight on the shin bone makes that to bear the weight in proper way, and also the same arm movement you find extending the trunk, etc. That means from this Tadasana you learn this Utkatasana to do properly, which helps to those people who suffer with the polio, they can't stand on their legs, they can't put the heels down, or they can't flex their ankles, or arthritis cases where they can't flex their joint. So in such cases, these standing poses, though they look very simple, these poses are helpful in such problems. And that's why those who are not yet suffering, yet they are made to realize these things, so that in case they suffer at later age, they can work on this. Now next group, you will be seeing the standing poses. You saw that standing on the legs sometimes, as you have, so we have done in the class that often you don't know how to stand in Samasthiti. In the similar manner, you find even in standing poses, just simply to spread the legs apart, how it is difficult. Now they are standing in Samasthiti, jump and spread the legs apart. This is the pose where you spread the legs apart, you stretch your arms to the side, you extend your fingers, watch whether your shoulder, arms they are in line. Look at the right, look at the left, and find out whether you are adjusted. Keep your heels firm. This is the pose which is intermediate state, which is called Uddhita Hasta Padasana. And from here you proceed to do other poses like Uddhita Konasana, Virabhadrasana, Parshva Konasana, etc. It won't be an exaggeration if I say that people are afraid even to spread the legs apart. And some of the beginners might have realized that though the teacher they jump and spread the legs, you people just are nervous. Those are beginners are nervous just to jump and spread the legs apart. They feel that they are doing something very unusual, which they have never done for all these years. As keeping the feet together is difficult, so also is the spreading of the legs apart. As soon as you spread your legs apart, you feel the stretch of the legs, and as you feel the stretch of the legs for the first time, then normally that energy which remains descending down in the legs begins to ascend upward in this pose, and that's why it is called as Uttita Hasta. Similarly, the arms which are spread to the side, in order to open the intercostal muscles of the chest in between the ribs, strengthen your chest, strengthen your legs. Now proceed for the next poses. We see Uttita Trikonasana. We will be doing Virabhadrasana too, that is Devaki is doing Uttita Trikonasana. Here Megha is doing Virabhadrasana too. And you see Abhay doing Uttita Parshvakonasana and Rajlakshmi doing Virabhadrasana 1. Now as we proceed, you see the movement of the appendicular skeleton opening. That means that portion which is called appendicular skeleton includes pelvic girdles, that means lower pelvic region, the shoulder girdles or pectoral girdles, that is shoulder, armpit, etc. And the bones of the arms, forearms, that is lower these forearms, elbows, wrists, fingers, thighs, knees, ankles, feet and toes. Often you don't know their names, but you don't come in contact with these portions or parts of your body when you are doing. That's why I'm just stressing on those areas so that you realize. And through the mechanism of the movement, you learn, that is pectoral as well as pelvic girdles, when they move, you learn to work on the spine and the organic body from within. For example, take Trikonasana, what Devaki is doing. When you adjust your shoulders, shoulder blades, arms and armpits, etc., you begin to adjust the thoracic spine. You begin to adjust your chest. And in the similar manner, suppose if, like you find Parshvakonasana of Abhay, take the hands over the head. Now when you extend the arm, open the pelvic girdle, turn the abdomen from right to the left. When you open like that, you find pelvic girdle opening, and there the abdominal region begins to work. So thoracic, the abdomen, etc. are there, though they seem to be standing poses. Now all these postures correct the deformity of the legs and tone the leg muscles. And they relieve the backaches, neck sprains, and reduce the fat which around the waist, hips, and thighs. Yes, you can turn the other side. You find the other side they are changing the position, and these asanas, all these four asanas, they work on abdominal region, reduce acidity, release the gas, remove the heaviness of the body, or bloating sensation in the stomach. And the asanas seem to be just acting. For you, when you look at it, you think that they are just acting on the skeletal body, like bones or joints. But they help even the organic body, and that's why women can improve the functioning of reproductive system. They can prevent the malfunctioning of ovaries and strengthen the uterus. So even the pregnant women can do these poses without fear. And that's how you see these movements. Now come up, stand in Tadasana, and next we'll be ready for the action for the next three asanas. Now we see the balancing, in which you have to learn to balance on the leg, called Vrikshasana, which you saw just now, which is a foundation for the balancing. Then Ardha Chandrasana and Virabhadrasana 3. Now first just show the first pose Vrikshasana, which you saw already. But since we advance now little further as far as the balancing is concerned, a proper extension of the spinal muscles, they give a sense of balance as well as a proper support to the body. The foundation of balancing is laid here in Vrikshasana itself, somewhere in the second or third week. That means you begin with that and then you proceed somewhere in the second or third month to the next two poses called Ardha Chandrasana and Virabhadrasana. So take Ardha Chandrasana and Virabhadrasana. See the pose Ardha Chandrasana. One learns to distribute in that as she is going to the pose. In Ardha Chandrasana, go to Virabhadrasana also. One learns to distribute that weight on the arm and the leg. One arm and one leg. Whereas in this Virabhadrasana, you stand or you hold your whole body horizontally on one leg. That's how you learn to balance. Ardha Chandrasana tones the lower region of the spine. There is the lumbar and the sacrum and the nerves specially connected to the lower limbs. And that's why even women are benefited as far as their gynec problems are concerned, since it works on the abdominal region. Now change the side. The other side you do it. You just look at these poses as though they are giving balance to the body. But medical patients, they know when they do it, how they help these asanas. Because they help to remove the sciatica pain, arthritic, rheumatic pains. They correct the drooping shoulders, hunch back, stiff shoulders. They expand the chest and increase the endurance. And therefore, even the asthmatic patients are benefited by doing these postures. And now come down. With this being the balancing pose, the yoga practitioner needs always remember harmony, balance, poise, and power to do the practice. And these asanas, these three balancing asanas which you saw, develop these qualities. At least they lay a foundation for these qualities to imbibe, and gives a sense of equilibrium. And that's how, though you question later how to develop equipoise, how to develop equilibrium, etc. And this is the foundation which is laid there. Now next we see the next group of asanas. You saw first standing correctly, how the arms work, the shoulders work, or how the knees, legs, etc. are made to work. From here we come to the next position where the lateral movement of the body begins. That means the sequence is so important that first we learn to stand. As I said, that you learn to stand, then you learn to sit, etc. Even here, the standing poses are progressing in a sequential movement. It's not somewhere jumping. I would have shown Parivritta Trikonasana in the very beginning if I wanted to. But it's not taken in the beginning. Somewhere these poses are introduced in the syllabus at the right time when your spine begins to get some movement. That's why Parivritta Trikonasana comes somewhere in the second month, somewhere last week. So these are the poses where you learn to move the spine laterally, twisting it, which are called as Parivritta Trikonasana, Parivritta Parshvakonasana, and added to it, one more is there called Parigasana. Now go to the pose, jump and spread your legs apart. Utthita Padasana you find, then they go to Parivritta Trikonasana turning. Now these asanas you find in their movement, they create mobility in the spine by giving a lateral rotational movement, what we call as turning and twisting. Parivritta itself means revolve or turned round. So here you find they are turned round. They were facing the platform and they turned the other way. Basically these asanas increase the blood supply to the lower part of the spinal region, you find because of their rotation, and invigorate, they stimulate and activate the liver, kidneys, spleen, intestine and pancreas. The diabetic patient, that's why, should not miss the practice of these asanas at all. Regularly one should do. Those who know that they have this problem in their family or they have tendency towards diabetes, it's better that they concentrate on this. Now take what Devaki is doing Parigasana. This is Parivritta Trikonasana, there is Parivritta Parshvakonasana, and here Parigasana, for a beginner. Parigasana extends, you can change on the side. This Parigasana extends the side flanks of the torso as they are going down, and is introduced purposely here for the beginners so that they can avoid the abdominal cramps. That means by churning, when you do the twisting movement, you are likely to feel that kind of, you stand this way. Because in turning process, when that abdominal, the beginners is likely to get a sort of cramps. If that cramps come, this parighasana is introduced so that the extension of the pelvic region, abdominal region makes them to be free from those kind of problems. Now compare that parighasana, for example, those which you have done in Bharadwajasana or Parivritta Janushishasana, those are done, in which you turn the spine, the abdomen laterally, avoiding the compression. That means this also kind of in descending process there is a turning from left pelvic to the right pelvic, but there is no compression of the abdomen. And that's how in Janushishasana also you don't compress. In Bharadwajasana also you don't compress the abdomen, but you revolve your spine. And that's how they remove the back end. So this lateral spinal movement helps to improve. That means as you extend the parighasana, you find improvement coming in Parivritta Konasana and Parivritta Parshvakonasana, and counterbalance the lateral twisting extensions with the lateral slopey downward extension. The opening that occurs between the pelvic and floating ribs and also on the sides of the ribs causes improvement in the breathing process in all this. You find this compressed, you find that it's extending, and actually it helps to improve the breathing moment you come out from the pose. When you are in the pose, you may be fighting for the breath, but moment you come out, you find the diaphragm pressure getting lessened, and that is how it improves the breath. Come on. And now, next group will be coming up. Then you saw completely rotated trunk, and after this, in standing poses alone, we have forward extension. Why standing poses are important for this purpose? Because you are getting almost a standing pose, standing forward extension. In all the standing poses, you don't be right on the mat. You saw in standing poses, the spine turning, the arm movement, shoulder movement, etc. Now, in the same standing poses, when you come to the end of standing postures, you have forward extension in the standing poses. And here we will be seeing Parshvottanasana, Rasayita Paruta, they are in Samasthiti, Parshvottanasana, Rasayita Paruttanasana, Uttanasana, Paramushtasana, and Adho Svanasana. Now, first we will be seeing Megha doing the hand work, the arm work. You turn this way, face this wall. You know, before going to Parshvottanasana, and this is always a common problem with most of us, when we have just forgotten the movement of the arm. We know how to take the arm forward. It's easy to take the arm forward and upward. But however, taking the arm back is very difficult. And in this, you begin with this action where the arms are taken back. In Vrikshasana, you saw arms up. In Tadasana, Virabhadrasana, your arms went up. In Trikonasana, Parshvakonasana, your arms were extended to the side. In Virabhadrasana and Parshvakonasana, hand over the head, your hands were up. Here we now go to the next procedure where the arms are taken back. Often the stiffness in the shoulder, trapezius is so much that one cannot just take the arms back straight away. That's why first the simple movement is introduced, just taking the arm back, where it's just holding the wrist. That's all. Because often people cannot even do that much. And we find such kind of cases. In Lateral Yoga, you find Guruji has shown this Parshvottanasana with hand back, especially Western people, those who don't move their arms backward, they find it very difficult. From here, we proceed next where the arms are folded at the back. So she holds with the right hand left elbow, left hand with the left palm right elbow, so that arms they come closer. Now this seems to be very simple, but those who come to the medical class, and if you ask them that there are so many that when we make them to fold the upper arms like that, you will be listening to the shouting in the class. That means even to move that arm back when they have got shoulder pain, neck pain, arthritis, rheumatism, that this cannot turn that easily. Because those who are in a healthy state always think that they can do so, it's perfect. But those who are in an unhealthy state, they know that how difficult it is. And that's why in beginner's course, these things are added. That in case if you have to face this kind of